Lao Tzu said, "Stillness is the key to all mystery." He also said that still water runs deep. And my favorite, be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. And that's where we're going today. We're talking about stillness, about why it's so important, why Lao Tzu called it the key to all mystery, what exactly he meant by that, and how we can bring more of it into our lives. This is episode 4 in our series on Tao Te Ching, the most important Taoist text, arguably one of the most important spiritual texts ever written. We've been walking through it verse by verse, trying to understand its timeless wisdom and how we can apply it to our modern lives. If you haven't already, please go back and listen to episodes 1, 2, and 3. I promise you'll get more from this one if you do. Now let's dive in. Chapter 4, verse 47. Stillness isn't emptiness. It's listening to what the noise drowns out. Okay, that's an interesting idea. So stillness is not nothing. It's full of potential energy. It's not a vacuum, but rather from this place of quiet, we can hear what would otherwise be inaudible. We see this in nature all around us. Like a tight rubber band, a poised bow and arrow, a surfer waiting for the perfect wave, a bird floating on air currents. In each case, a potential for action is being held until the time is right. It's all about timing. What does this mean to us? Well, stillness is often uncomfortable because it forces us to face ourselves, our thoughts, our emotions, our needs. It confronts us with the chaos within. But the trick is to stay calm and centered even when everything around us seems to be spinning out of control, because that's when we can really listen. We can hear the subtle cues, the whispers of wisdom, the inner voice of intuition, guiding us toward the right action at the right time. Think of the times you've been so busy that you missed something important. You were too distracted by external noise to hear the quiet voice inside. Or maybe you were so caught up in your own thoughts that you couldn't listen to someone else. Stillness helps us get back in sync with the world around us. It allows us to step back and gain perspective. There's this great story about a master and his student. They were sailing across a stormy sea when suddenly the boat capsizes. The student panics and starts thrashing around in the water. But the master remains calm. He takes a deep breath, lets the waves wash over him, and waits patiently for the right moment. Then he gently turns himself around and swims toward the nearest land. When he reaches the shore, the student asks him, "Master, why didn't you help me? Why didn't you save me?" The master replies, "You don't need saving. You just need to wait for the right moment to act. That's what I did. I waited until I was sure I could reach the land, and I swam with all my strength. But you were too busy struggling and panicking to listen to the waves or feel the wind. And that's why you couldn't find your way." This is a simple but powerful lesson about the importance of stillness. The world is full of distractions, noise, and chaos. It can be hard to find the time and space to be still, but it's essential if we want to be centered and focused. When we learn to be still, we become more attuned to the rhythms of life. We can better understand ourselves and others. And we are better able to make decisions and take actions that are in alignment with our deepest values. There's also a psychological connection here. In modern psychology, we talk about the importance of meditation and mindfulness. These practices help us focus our attention and calm our minds. They teach us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment and to cultivate a sense of inner peace. Mindfulness has been shown to improve our ability to regulate our emotions, which is key to dealing with stress and adversity. So many of us live in a constant state of frenzy. We react hastily, impulsively, often out of fear or anxiety. But when we stop and think before we act, we can usually find a better solution. And this applies to all aspects of your life, such as leadership, love, parenting, and communication. Even in crisis situations, The frantic leader makes everyone else panic. The anxiously attached partner creates more distance. The stressed-out parent pushes their kids away. It's only the calm, centered person who can bring everyone else down. Being still doesn't mean we have to withdraw from the world. We can be fully engaged and present in our lives without losing our sense of inner peace. It's not about escaping society or avoiding our responsibilities. It's about finding pockets of stillness within the everyday. It's about learning to be still in the midst of the chaos. Think about it. If we're constantly running around like headless chickens, we're not really living. We're just surviving. We're not experiencing life. We're just going through the motions. Being still allows us to savor the present moment, to appreciate the beauty around us and within us. It allows us to connect with ourselves and with others in a deeper way. One of the challenges we face today is that we live in a culture that values busyness. We're always being told to do more, to achieve more, to become more. But this relentless pursuit of more can lead to burnout, anxiety, and depression. The irony is that the very things we think will bring us happiness, like more money or more success, often leave us feeling empty and unfulfilled. But when we take the time to be still, we begin to realize that what we really need is less stuff, less stress, less noise. We need more moments of stillness, more opportunities to connect with ourselves and with others. We can create these moments of stillness intentionally. We can set aside time each day to meditate or to simply sit in silence. We can take walks in nature and allow ourselves to be present in the moment. We can practice deep breathing exercises and body scan meditations. We can learn to be still in the midst of the chaos. But sometimes stillness comes to us unexpectedly. It might be in the quiet moments between obligations that we find ourselves most open to the wonders of life. Maybe it's when we wake up in the middle of the night and the rest of the world is asleep that we have the clearest insight or the most profound realization. Perhaps it's when we're sitting alone in a crowded room, observing the people around us and feeling deeply connected to them that we experience the most intense feelings of joy and contentment. These moments of stillness are precious because they remind us of what really matters. They help us to remember that the secret to happiness is not out there somewhere. It's right here, right now. It's in the small things, the little moments that make up our lives. It is easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle everyday life and forget to appreciate the beauty around us. But when we take the time to be still, we open ourselves up to the possibility of experiencing life more fully. We allow ourselves to feel the joy and wonder that's always present, always available to us. Laozi said that stillness is the key to all mystery. And that's really quite a profound statement. When we're still, we're more open to the mysteries of life. We're more receptive to the guidance of the universe. We're more connected to something bigger than ourselves. Being still isn't always easy, especially in our fast-paced, demanding world. But it's essential if we want to live a life that's rich, meaningful, and joyful. Let's promise ourselves to embrace more calm in our lives. Let's find ways to be still in the midst of the chaos. Let's cherish the moments of stillness that come to us unexpectedly. And let's remember that the secret to happiness is not out there somewhere. It's right here, right now. It's in the small things, the little moments that make up our lives. So thank you for listening. I hope you found this helpful. Please go back and listen to episodes 1, 2, and 3. Leave a review wherever you listen. And until next time, may you be still in the midst of the chaos, centered in the midst of the storm, peaceful in the midst of the activity.